What's going on, Colts Nation and NFL fans? This video is going to be somewhat controversial. All right, because there are a lot of you sitting on one side of the fence when it comes to discussing running backs and their value in the NFL, and then there are those of you that are sitting on the other side. Me personally, I'm on the side that says I think running backs are incredibly undervalued, right? While I do get and understand that a lot of you are like, well, that's just the market, right? Because they can be replaced. There are some of you, however, that say, well, running backs aren't even needed. Just take them out of the game. Just past 100% of the time. Absolutely ridiculous, and I'll explain that right now. Actually, during this video, I'll explain that. The thing is, there is a way, I believe, that the running backs throughout the NFL can do something that will help them get more pay from the entire league. But if they do it, oh my, they could be looked at as the bad guys if they do this. All right, at least for a while. Especially for an entire season. No, I'm not saying running back strike. That helps nobody. Zero. A running back strike, first off, it's fine for some of the running backs that's already been in the league a couple years, gotten a few paychecks, and can sit down and, not do anything. Live off some money that they've already saved up from their previous checks. However, when you got rookies walking in, you're literally hurting them because they haven't gotten paid yet. So let's do something that's not going to hurt the rookies, but will help the position overall. Okay? And you're like, well, you can't, just have a bunch of people hold out. Holding out helps nobody either, right? Running backs holding out, all that does is allow other running backs to step in, do their job for them. Okay? And then what happens if you hold out, your contract just gets pushed back one more year. You're still with the same team, right? If you're still under contract. Now, if you're, obviously through your rookie contract and it's like Saquon Barkley or someone like that has signed a... Well, I don't think Saquon Barkley actually signed his tag. I think it was an actual one-year contract that he signed. But anyhow, those that are on the tag, it won't affect them. But, if you're under contract, your contract just moves on. Plus, you don't get paid. Okay? But that doesn't affect how the rest of the NFL views your position, right? The goal of the running backs right now is to get the entire NFL to view your position more valued than what they currently do. Because let's face it, running backs are the workhorse of the NFL. They're the draft horses. They're the ones pulling the reins of the offenses. Yes, the quarterbacks are incredibly important because they touch the ball every single snap. Yes, I get that. Okay, quarterback should be the highest paid player in the league. I think running back should be number two. Number two. Why? Because they touch the ball outside, obviously, of the center, who hikes it, and that's the only time they ever touch it, is just get rid of the ball, give it to the quarterback, or the punter or the kick placeholder or whatnot. But running backs not only touch the ball second most in that aspect, they're also getting pounded consistently. And not just, short distance hitting like in the trenches. We're talking about full out linebackers and safeties going whole hog on them and blasting into them, running as fast as they freaking can on every single carry they have or every single catch they have. I feel like running backs should get paid more for the job that they do. Now, in order for this to happen, I think that they should have a meeting. And maybe that's what the Zoom meeting was about, that Eckler and all of them were part of, Jonathan Taylor included, where they're like, you know what, let's play. But let's agree to not put in the second effort. Let's put us first. Okay? And when I say that, I'm not saying shortchange a team. If the hole's there, hit it, run, and then get tackled whenever a tackle happens. Just don't do the second effort. Don't try to plow through tackles to get hit 15 times more. When you're running down the sideline, right? And you see guys, safety coming at you whole hog, slip out of bounds rather than cut back in, right? Things of that nature. That's what I'm talking about, all right? Not putting in that extra effort. Because that second effort, that second amount, you still have to get paid doing it. When you get like a toss, a pass, a running back gets a pass in the flat or something, recognize, is this a hospital pass? To where if I reach up and grab this ball, I'm getting hit at the exact same time? Choose yourself over that pass, right? Make sure you're not getting injured over catching a hospital pass rather than trying to make a play for your team. Okay? If they do that, it won't take a couple weeks, a couple games for each team to realize the running game's not going to be very effective. Okay? The running game won't be very effective. And then, ooh, ow. Next thing you know, offenses are going to have to pass more often. You're going to see a lot more second and third and longs, right? To where you know they're going to have, even on first down, teams will be passing more because they know that the running game's not going to be nearly as effective. So defenses will key in on pass rush mostly. You're going to see defenses running a lot of 5-man pass rush with a quarterback spy and still have enough guys on that defense, even with a 5-man rush and a quarterback spy, they'll still have enough guys on defense to cover every single type of receiver, whether it's a tight end, wide receiver, even the running back, okay, on defense. And you're going to see that more and more often, which means that's going to hurt the passing game, right? Next thing you know, the passing game starts to struggle in the NFL. By week 3, 4, 5, you're going to see scoring go way down. You're going to see yardage go way down. You're going to see defensive stats go through the roof. You're going to see multiple sacks. You're going to see sacks and quarterback pressures start going way up. The NFL will then, at that point, have to take notice that the running back position is incredibly important. At least that's how I see this actually coming out. And at that point, that's when the NFL and teams will be like, all right, we have to start. But you don't even have to get the CBA together at that point. Teams that are looking to be, playoff bound, they will definitely pay their players, their running backs at that point to be like, look, all right, here's your money, right? Dalvin Cook will pay you $14, $15, $16 million or more. Heck, you might even see the running back position, with these guys next year, right? Next year when you have all these free agent running backs, and there's going to be a lot of them, like Jonathan Taylor and Jacobs and a bunch of other guys. You're going to have all these high-end guys that'll be available. Teams will start paying them so that they will go back to playing the way they were at their MVP level or all pro level to where they're game-changing performers, right? Guys that can take the ball and screw getting 4 or 5 yards. You're looking at like guys like Jonathan Taylor or Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry that could bust one for big yardage and a touchdown out of nowhere. They'll start paying them. You'll start seeing some money being devised up. You'll start seeing their income go up, right? So it looks a little bit more reasonable. When you have one position that carries the football, touches the football 350 times, right? And averages about 4.5 to 5 yards per touch, and gets 10 to 20 touchdowns every year, getting paid instead of half of guys that are getting targeted or touching the football, let's say 100 or less times, and getting, wide receivers figure how many times they're targeted, right? If they're getting 100 catches, they're probably being targeted 140 times. Whereas a running back, every time they touch the football, that goes in with their average run. The average yards per catch does not go in with every time they're targeted. It goes in every time they're catch the football. So it's yards per target that you want to look at for a wide receiver. Because that's the argument. Well, wide receivers average 8 to 14 yards, per catch. But you don't go by per catch. You should go by per target, because that's each play, right? You're doing that with the running backs. Do that with the wide receivers. Now, granted, the wide receivers, still, the yardage is there, is higher than what running backs have, but it's way less than what it is per target rather than per catch. And you should count every play, not just the times they actually make the connection. And wide receivers are paid twice as much money for doing half as much work as a running back. And the running backs make sure that the passing game can be effective, because it keeps a defense honest. Keeps a defense honest. And if you have a high-end running back that can bust one at any time, that keeps those defenses even more honest. That keeps those defenses up near the line of scrimmage, so that those running backs, take less chance of those running backs breaking one for 50 plus and a touchdown. You take that threat away, like in the proposal that I'm talking about that I think that running backs should do, they don't have to worry about, defenses don't have to worry about that no more. They could key in directly. Something the NFL has never seen before, and it would shake them up. Now, like I said, if the running backs do that, that's going to kind of ruin offense in the NFL for a year. And that's going to make them look bad on the side of fans. Because fans want to see offense. I like seeing offense, but I like seeing defense. But the thing is, if it happens, it'll open the eyes to everybody on how important the running back position truly is in the game of American football. If you have another way that you think that running backs could go out and try to get paid a little bit more, make their point made. Because I don't think sitting out or, asking for a trade helps anybody. Doesn't help anyone on the running back position. Not, at least not right now, not with the current market. If you have an idea that's different than mine, you think might work, let me know in the comments. And yeah, like I said, very, very controversial. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm not saying they should do what I'm saying. I'm saying that's an option for them to do. And it could work. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law, discussing the issues with the running back market. And until next time, as usual, go Colts. Have a good one.